Understanding the Super El Niño. The term, Super El Niño, serves as a popularized descriptor for extreme oceanic warming events that carry significant implications for global climate patterns. While the terminology originated within the academic community, its journey from a technical observation to a mainstream meteorological catchphrase highlights the evolving intersection of scientific communication and public perception in our modern data-driven world. The origins and evolution of terminology. The narrative of this atmospheric event began in 2003, when researchers based in Australia sought a way to categorize the most intense manifestations of the El Niño-Southern Oscillation cycle. By defining these rare, high-magnitude shifts, they provided a framework for discussing anomalies that extended beyond typical seasonal variability. Over time, this descriptive label transcended its academic boundaries, becoming a staple of media reporting and long-range weather forecasting. The shift in usage mirrors a broader trend where complex climate phenomena are distilled into accessible, emotionally resonant terminology to better communicate risk. However, as the term migrated from peer-reviewed journals into newspapers and television broadcasts, the clarity of its definition often became muddied. The following factors contributed to its rapid adoption. Broadened public engagement. Media outlets leveraged the sensational nature of the term to capture the attention of audiences who might otherwise ignore dry scientific data. Visual storytelling, phrases like super, or later descriptors like Godzilla El Niño, provided an immediate, albeit informal, scale of intensity that the general public could easily visualize without needing to parse complex graphs. Digital amplification. The rise of rapid information sharing in the early 2000s and beyond ensured that such catchy nomenclature could proliferate globally within hours of its initial mention. Defining the scientific thresholds. While the super designation lacks the formal rigidity of a universally recognized scientific classification, it is anchored to specific physical measurements. Experts generally look toward the thermal behavior of the Pacific Ocean to determine whether a standard El Niño has escalated into this more intense category. The focus is specifically on the temperature anomalies within the tropical Pacific, which serve as the primary engine for global climate disruption. Quantifiable thermal spikes. A central requirement for the informal categorization is a rise in sea surface temperatures by at least 2 degrees Celsius above the historical average. Contextualizing anomalies. Scientists utilize historical baselines to determine if a warming event is merely a routine fluctuation or a truly unprecedented deviation from long-term climate cycles. Regional climate influence. The categorization is often reinforced by the observation that these temperature spikes frequently trigger widespread, systemic shifts in precipitation and wind patterns across multiple continents. The debate over scientific accuracy. The proliferation of the super label has not occurred without pushback from the meteorological community. Many experts, particularly within the Australian Bureau of Meteorology, have critiqued the terminology as being prone to sensationalism. They argue that the focus on a single temperature threshold can be misleading because the actual impact on local communities is highly dependent on a variety of other complex oceanic and atmospheric variables. The core of the scientific concern lies in the potential for misinterpretation. When the media focuses exclusively on the superstatus of an event, the nuance of regional variability, where one area might experience severe drought while another experiences uncharacteristic flooding, is often lost. This reductionist approach creates several distinct challenges for climatologists and policymakers. Managing public expectations. If an event is billed as super, but fails to produce specific forecasted catastrophes in a local region, it can foster a dangerous sense of complacency or distrust in meteorological science. Distinction from reality. The term Godzilla El Niño, introduced by NASA's Bill Patzert in 2015, demonstrates how far the metaphorical language has drifted from clinical observation. While helpful for illustrative purposes, it risks prioritizing spectacle over technical precision. Resource allocation complications. Government bodies and emergency services must balance the need for public urgency with the accuracy of scientific predictions, which can be compromised when sensationalist language dominates the conversation. Synthesizing climate complexity. Modern climate science requires a delicate balance between rigorous data analysis and effective public outreach. As we move through 2026, the reliance on such labels as Super El Niño remains a contentious aspect of environmental journalism. The goal remains to educate the public on the reality of climate variability while maintaining the integrity of the underlying meteorology. The tension between accessibility and accuracy is an inherent feature of scientific literacy in the 21st century. While Super El Niño may effectively grab headlines, the underlying reality is governed by oceanic cycles that defy simple categorization. Understanding the distinction between a useful metaphor and a scientific measurement is essential for those who wish to navigate the complexities of our changing climate. Professional recommendations for interpreting these events include the following. Prioritize official forecasts. Always refer to the data published by national meteorological bureaus, rather than relying solely on high-intensity buzzwords found in general media. Understand regional variance. Acknowledge that even in a super event, weather impacts are never uniform and depend heavily on local geography and historical climate trends. Monitor long-term trends. Focus on the frequency and persistence of these anomalies, rather than just the intensity of a single event, as this provides a clearer picture of global climate health. Ultimately, the term Super El Niño serves as a bridge between the highly technical world of oceanic research and the daily information needs of the public. While it is clearly not a formal, peer-reviewed classification, its presence in the cultural lexicon is unlikely to diminish. By maintaining a critical awareness of what the term does and does not represent, audiences can make better-informed decisions based on the actual climate risks facing their specific regions. Education is the most powerful tool in navigating the noise created by extreme weather discourse, ensuring that the focus remains on resilient, evidence-based understanding rather than reactionary alarmism. By moving beyond the label to examine the data, we gain a more accurate and useful perspective on the forces shaping our world today. This overview has examined the origins, definition, and controversy surrounding the term Super El Niño. By distinguishing between sensationalist labeling and scientific rigor, we can better understand these powerful climate events and their actual impact on global environments.